Welcome back. I've been playing baseball for over 6 years now, and the last 3 years have been on travel teams. While I've learned a lot from all of my coaches, I know for a fact that no coach has been more fun than my current coach. I'm Grayson Knight, and this is Baseball Podcasts Are Fun. Coach Brandon Bostick joined our team after our practices got underway this winter. Although we had only one professional coach, he has worked hard with us to help us learn and play the game the right way. And when we do, we win. And when we win, well, he does backflips. So let's get this party started. Coach Brandon, thank you for coming on the show. Are you ready, Coach?
I'm ready. Let's get it.
How are you today?
Good. How about you?
Good. Um, Kind of bummed that we have no practice tomorrow, but that's okay.
All right. I tried. Fingers still crossed, though. You never know.
Yeah. I really appreciate you being today's guest because I know you love Marvel movies as much as I do, which we'll talk about.
Absolutely.
But let's start with your origin story. Where did you grow up?
I grew up, born and raised in Pelham, Georgia. Stayed there for 22 years of my life. And then after that, I graduated from Emmanuel College in 2017, and I left there and stayed in Athens. And so I've been all over. I've been from Athens to Gainesville, from Gainesville to like Sandy Springs, and now I'm back in Gainesville. I've just been all over. But
Mm-hmm.
born and raised in Pelham, Georgia.
Mm-hmm. And you've pretty much stayed in Georgia your entire life, right?
Whole life, never been in another state. Well, I've visited other states, haven't lived in one.
Mm-hmm. So Pelham is like way down south in Georgia, almost like the Florida area. So how did you get up here in the Atlanta area from there?
So after college, I took a job with Amazon right out of college. It was like some college like little hire event they had. Took a job with them, and so I stayed right up here, made that my full-time job, and I wanted to actually utilize my degrees, so which is in sports management. So I got out of that. Then I got into law enforcement, which that's not sports, but I got into law enforcement, which made me come to Gainesville. But then after leaving that, that's when I got into, athletic coordinating and stuff like that. And that's currently what I do now, athletic
Mm-hmm.
coordinator. Mhm.
And obviously you coach a small team called the TGD backs, right?
That's right. Prospects, you already know. We're gonna
Yeah.
talk, man.
Mm-hmm. And how old were you when you were bitten by a radioactive baseball and gave you the superpower of loving the game? Sorry, my dad had to throw that in there.
I would say 14. Believe it or not, I didn't start playing baseball till freshman year of high school. Like never, the first time I ever picked up a baseball glove, I'm the middle child, so I have two brothers. My older brother, he loves the game. Younger one does too. First time I ever picked up a baseball glove, they were throwing the ball at me, and I wore the ball straight out the forehead.
Oh,
And yeah, but I got better. I got better though.
obviously. Hmm.
It took a while. Took a while.
So, freshman year of high school, is when you started playing baseball.
I did.
So you played other sports like basketball and track, right?
So believe it or not, so basketball wasn't my sport. I started running track sophomore year, and let's see, football. Believe it or not, my mom would not let me play football as a freshman or sophomore. She said I had to wait till junior year. So that's when I picked up football.
Were you good at it?
I actually was. So went on a visit to FSU. Um, yeah, it
Go
was
Gators.
pretty. It was, oh yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. It was fun, but man, I was too short. They were going to move me. I'm a running back. I love it. I want the football in my hands, but no, they were going to move me to defense, and there was no way I was going to be able to compete with like a 6'7" receiver. Get bullied every time.
Yeah. So when you started, when you were a freshman, what was it about baseball that you loved?
Definitely, believe it or not, defense. Just being able to be in the outfield. Well, since I'm a lefty and short, I'm limited to where I could play at. But just being in the outfield and just being able to like just track down fly balls, just make diving plays and stuff like that, have a reason to get dirty, like love that. Defense, I could do it all. I could just do it all day.
Hmm. So, after that, was baseball your favorite sport besides
Oh, most
including football?
most definitely. Most definitely. Just baseball, you gotta it's one of those things that it's all about being mental. I feel like anybody and everybody can, play football. Anyone can do track. I mean, because I mean, if you're not a distance runner, you're a sprinter. If you're not a sprinter, you can do field events and stuff like that. Same thing with football. You're either going to go out there and be a blocker, or you're going to be a skill player, stuff like that. When it comes to baseball, you have to really, really, really be mentally like strong to like be able to hit that little round ball because it'll get to you. It does.
Hmm.
It does.
So I played soccer for a season when I was about 6 years old. I did taekwondo for 4 years and I got my black belt. And I just finished my first season of winter league basketball. I'm not good at it, but they're great sports to try. But baseball is definitely what I love the most, easily.
Nice.
Hmm.
But hey, are you gonna play anything else throughout? I mean, you're young, so I mean you still got high school ahead of you. You gonna play other sports in high school or you gonna stick to baseball?
I might try out football because I'm a really good wide receiver. Like
There it is.
my school. The only reason I'm not playing football right now is because my dad doesn't want me to get injured.
Smart man.
Hmm. So you're down in Pelham, Georgia. I know you played outfield, but was that where you started, or did you just love it once you tried it out?
So that's actually where I started. So when they saw that one, I was short, and two, once we started
Left-handed.
running and everything, oh, and left-handed, he was like, "We'll put you in the outfield." So yeah, he started me off in left field, and I actually, ended up getting real good. Not good enough to where like I was just like the man, but I was good enough to start freshman year, and I progressed over years. But I was the left fielder from freshman year to junior year on varsity, and then senior year I took over in center.
Nice. Freshman, you were on varsity? Wow.
Yep, I was.
Hmm.
I
Uh,
was.
so you're coaching me and my 13U teammates right now on TGD backs prospects. But most of us have one more year of middle school, but high school is right around the corner. Can you talk to me about what we can expect from high school baseball, from tryouts to once we are playing on JV and varsity?
Definitely don't limit yourself to just one position. If just hit the ground running. If you can play third, tell them you can play short. If you can play third and short, you can play anywhere in the outfield. I mean, everybody thinks that the shortstop is like the best athlete on the field. I mean, the world sees it that way, but I mean, I'm outfield biased, so I got to stick with my outfielders. But no, just don't limit yourself to one position. Try out for all of them. I mean, you're fast. You're one of the fastest kids on the D-backs prospect. So don't limit yourself to just one position. Uh, Tell them you can play all nine. I mean, and if you don't play all nine, learn all nine. You got time. Like I said, you're 13, 14. You still got 1 year of middle school left. Um, let that soak all in.
Hmm.
That's one thing that I would say that you would definitely look forward to. And just because you're gonna be a freshman, you don't have to limit yourself to JV. I mean, aim for the shoot for the stars. And so
Hmm.
like if you want to be on varsity as a freshman, do it. I know plenty of freshmen out there right now that are playing varsity ball. They didn't get the starts that they wanted, but guess what? They still got to dress out. They still got that exposure.
Yeah.
They still got to be out there with, the big boys. So soak it all in.
Hmm. And I'm glad you started me at a position I've never played before, first base, also third base. Thank you for kind of teaching me that because I pretty much have never played third base in my life.
Hey, you're solid over there. You're solid. You're a solid third
I
baseman.
got to work on those
And to,
backhands though.
hey, they're coming though. The backhands are coming.
Hmm. So true or false, parents should not be talking to coaches in high school unless there's a safety issue.
Let's see. I would say I'd say true. Because at the end of the day, like you have to write your own story, you know? I mean, your mom, your dad, they can't do it for you. Your sister, she can't do it for you. You gotta, create your own story and whatever path that you decide to take in baseball. Like, I mean, if you go in as a freshman and you have to set goals for yourself. I mean, obviously they can give you goals and stuff like that because they're your parents or, she's your sister. She can give you goals and stuff, but at the end of the day, you know, Grayson Knight has to do what Grayson Knight wants to do.
Mm-hmm. What's been really cool, well, not really cool, but it's actually um a good life uh what's the word? What's the word I'm thinking of? Not choice, but like not decision. Like a learning process. It's not just good for
Right.
baseball, it's good for life. Like your parents can't do everything for you. They can't do the laundry for your entire life or something like that.
There it
Like,
is.
you have to learn how to do stuff on your own.
Absolutely. You have to. Absolutely. And you're doing that right now. You're
Mm-hmm.
doing it right now.
Well, thank you for that. So I know that the D-backs organization tries to get the players to talk with the coaches, not my mom and dad. I'm sure all the parents will be better in high school. So you leave high school and then you end up at Andrew College, not far from home, and then later Emmanuel College, where you graduated in 2017, like you said, a few hours from home. What got you to both those schools and why did you choose them?
So what got me to Andrew, so he's no longer with the Blue Jays organization now. What was his name? It was like Chad. I know his first name was Chad. I don't even remember his last name. Blue Jay scout came down to the school. He watched me and one other guy try out. He reached out to Andrew along with some other like junior colleges, and Andrew gave me an opportunity. Literally, I went out. They saw me run. They saw me hit. Saw me make some throws from right field to third, and they offered me right then and there. So I did that. Um, Honestly, that was at that time coming out of high school my first offer, and I just jumped right on it. I didn't even wait for anything else, just jumped on that one. So I took that one. And then after my 2 years were up at Andrew, um, I had offers from like, you know, Liberty, Stillman College over in Alabama, I had Emmanuel. I think I chose Emmanuel, one, because out of all the schools that offered me, it was more of a you come in and you're going to be like one of our go-to guys for outfield. Whereas like everybody else was like, hey, if you come here, you got like somebody that's getting drafted in front of you. So you just learn from them type thing. And I was young, I would say. And that's why I didn't want to, I guess, be the bench warmer or like the guy that learns. I wanted to, hey, I've been a 2 year starter at Andrew College. I want to go be a 2 year starter somewhere else. That's the mindset I had instead of like learning. So that's why I chose Emmanuel because Coach there just told me he's like, you're gonna come in, you're gonna be one of our guys.
Mhm. So everyone's situation is different, but what do you think if I want to play pro ball, does the college matter or just that I get into a college and play well?
Honestly, the college doesn't matter. I mean, prime example, like D Gordon. I mean, he didn't start at all in college, and he ended up having like a good few years in the majors and stuff like that. I think that people, I would say that when it comes to that, it's all about how quick you want to get there. Like, do you want to go straight out of high school and go straight to the pros, or do you want to like go to college and get better at your game and then go to the pros? I mean, it's all the road that you just decide to take. I wouldn't say that there isn't any right or wrong because I mean either way you're one playing D1 baseball, but then at the same time, or you're just going straight from the pros right out of high school. It's just your preference, honestly.
Reps are definitely more important, right?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely reps, reps,
Mhm.
reps.
So in college, what kinds of adversity did you have to face on the field that you didn't have in high school?
So I would definitely say right off the bat. So freshman year, um, it was weird, like because you're a 4 year starter in high school, and you're like, okay, well, this is college. I mean, I'm gonna be a starter. He brought me here, so I'm gonna be a starter. But no, like I didn't get my first collegiate start until so believe it or not, freshman year we had a 56 game schedule. I didn't get my first start till 20 games in. Like I didn't touch the field at all. I hit BP before games and that was it.
Like
And
you didn't
took
even
and
pinch hit or go in the game?
for 20 games I didn't do anything. And then my time came when, I just stayed patient. I cried about it. I was mad about it all the time, but then, my family would just be like, wait, just wait. And this one day, the center fielder that was starting, he kept making errors. He wasn't hustling out the box when he was at the plate, and the coach saw that, and he put me in, and I finished the season. I finished those 36 games of the season as a starter,
Started every
and it
every
was,
single every single game?
mm-hmm, yep, right after that,
Uh,
and like you say, just hit the ground running. But my biggest thing that I would say messed me up in college was I've blown out both of my knees, like dislocated them. Like I'm talking about like twisted backwards type blown out
ouch.
knees. Oh yeah. So that one happened sophomore year, and then I blew the right one out sophomore year, blew the left one out junior year, and redshirted. That took me out for the entire season. Then came back and blew the left one out again.
Oh my. So you blew a left one out twice?
Yeah, twice.
Hmm. I think I remember you saying this during one of our practices, but I remember you saying you were batting in the one hole, batting leadoff in high school, but when you got to college, you were like batting ninth like the entire like every single game. Is that true?
Every single game. Believe it or not, freshman year, I got there was one series we played in where I batted leadoff, and then after that, nine hole, nine hole. And I never asked. I never asked. I was
Said
like, you know
anything?
what? Huh?
You never said anything?
Never said anything. I was like, you know what? I'm in the lineup. Let's just be grateful for that.
Hmm. I think if that happened to me, I think I have the same response.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Coach, we know baseball's fun, and this past weekend we won our third tournament of the season. We'll talk about that in a moment. But you know what else is fun? Marvel movies. So
Yes.
I've asked a lot of my guests if they're DC or Marvel fans. A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't watch that. That's boring. I don't watch movies." But since you're here, let's talk a little bit about it. What's your favorite MCU movie?
Favorite one is definitely, without a doubt, man,
Infinity War?
Infinity War. That's without a doubt.
Best
It's
one?
Infinity War. Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
I
Oh
don't
yeah.
think it's the best one, but that's top three.
It is. What would you say yours is?
Infinity War, Ragnarok, um, and Winter Soldier.
I'm glad that you said Ragnarok because that's probably in my top three too. A lot of people are just like, oh, I don't understand it, or oh, but no, that's hands down one of the greatest movies ever created.
Hmm. So let's talk about comic book movies for a few minutes. So you're a Marvel fan. Do you like DC also, or just straight Marvel?
I do. I watch DC.
Hmm.
I
You
do
know the
indeed.
new Flash movie's coming out next week.
It is. You excited about it?
Yeah. What do you think? Think it's gonna be good?
Well, I think it's going to be real good. I think that what I'm hoping is that they just didn't put Batman in this movie to save the movie. I hope, like, Mr. Barry Allen's going to show us something.
Hmm. And there's rumors that there's gonna be a third Batman. I don't know who though.
Well, we're going to find out, right?
Yeah. Also Spider-Verse coming out tomorrow too. You gonna watch
It
that?
is. It is. It is. I'm gonna watch it.
Since
Hopefully
we
it's
have
better than the first one.
Yeah. Well, the first one was great. It's like maybe one of my top five. like superhero movies.
Nice.
Mm.
Miles
Uh,
Morales.
since we don't have a game Friday, I'm gonna watch it Friday night.
Smart man. I would watch it, but I'll be at a wedding. So
All right, back to our team. So if the guys are listening, they know we had a real roller coaster of a season. One day, we're losing to teams we should beat. Another day, we're unstoppable. That's basically our
right.
Saturday Sunday rotation. Um, so what's it like for a coach, for you as a coach, when we're all over the place, and how do you handle those wins and losses?
Honestly, like I lose so much sleep. if if anyone ever tells you that coaching 13-year-olds is
Easy.
easy, it is not easy. It is very stressful. It's like, I guess for me, not having a kid at all, but then also me being so young, it's one of those things like in my mind, I'm like, okay, like parents are paying X amount of dollars for, their kid to play on this team, be coached by this guy, and they're wanting me to put us in the best situation possible to win baseball games. So it is very, very, very stressful. And
Especially
I
since
think,
you're the only coach. You're the only professional coach.
right.
Mm.
So it definitely is one of those things that's stressful. I would say when we lose, it hurts, because like I mean, obviously everybody wants to win. I mean, if in a perfect world, everybody wants to go 50-0 in the season, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not going to happen. But I think that you know I transitioned from like start to finish. So at the beginning of the season, when we were losing and stuff like that, I'm on teams that we should have been crushing. I'm like, okay, like, is there something that I'm doing wrong? Is there something that the kids are doing wrong? But now, when we lose to teams that we should be beating, I think that fuels y'all and it like motivates y'all, but also like ticks you off enough to, come back the next day and just know that, hey, like yesterday was we were asleep, but no, like you just woke up a monster today.
Mm.
And I just love the fact that y'all don't give up. I love the fact this is the most fight I've ever seen out of a team. I've coached teams that have just laid down when they go down like 3-0 or like 2-1 or something like that. But no, the fight for y'all just to have like if you're down like by 7 runs and you come back and win a baseball game or you almost win a baseball game, love that. Love that.
Well, last thing you said, that's happened a few times.
Right? It
Mhm.
has.
We could be down like 10-2 and come back and lose 10-9.
Exactly. It's like how? It's like how?
Mm-hmm. And when we actually do score and beat teams that we can beat, we score like 40 runs in like one day.
Exactly. It's
Mm-hmm.
insane. It's
Mm-hmm.
insane. I can't
And
believe we beat a team in less than 45 minutes. That was
yeah,
insane.
in the championship.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for those honest answers, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my dad wants to know, would you rather lose in a heartbreaker like by 1 run or a walk-off, or get blown out like 10-0?
Definitely. You know what? I would just lose a heartbreaker. I would say that I would be more comfortable losing a heartbreaker. And I say that because we have lost a fair share of heartbreakers. And so it's like, you know what? It's kind of one of those things that now um immune to. And I'm like, okay, we lost that heartbreaker. Let's get back to work the next day.
Mm-hmm. So when you were playing, I bet you thought those days would never end. But you told the team recently that you enjoy every single moment. And time flies. And the next thing you know, we're in our 20s and 30s, and baseball may be behind us. But if you could go back and talk to your 13-year-old self, what would you say to yourself?
If I would go back, I would definitely say, if I went back to my 13-year-old self, definitely would tell him, hey, put a bat and ball in your hand and learn the game. If you don't want to learn it that way, watch the game. Because I wasn't. At 13, all I did was watch my brothers play. I wasn't into it. Like I didn't get into it until I was 14. So, but if I was 13, I'd definitely go back and be like, look, start working now because something good is coming to you in the future.
Mhm.
Definitely.
I love everything what you just said. It's not doesn't really relate to me because I play baseball right now, but for someone that is just watching, is just a fan of this podcast, doesn't actually play or enjoy baseball, I think that's really great advice. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But Coach, it's time to wrap up our interview, and we've made it to the final segment of the show, the not so rapid fire questions. So you can answer with as much or as little info as you want. You ready?
Ready.
So do you have a nickname that when you played or still have one?
Yep. BB. Brandon Bostick.
And I'm pretty sure I've seen that on your wooden bats, right?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Why is that your nickname? I know that's your initials, but is there anything else?
It was literally freshman year when we were playing baseball. The coach was like, everybody had a nickname, and coach was like, you need a nickname. We don't have a nickname for you. And he was like, BB. And it just stuck. That was the way it just came.
Mm-hmm. So what do you enjoy more, coaching or playing?
I would say, believe it or not, coaching. Now, if you would ask me this a long time ago, I probably would have said playing, but no, coaching. Because I like helping the youth. I get happy seeing y'all be successful. So that makes my day. So coaching.
Mhm. And what's the hardest part of coaching?
Um, making decisions. Just
Mhm.
anything when it comes to making a decision because
I
it's like, it's just tough. I
you
mean,
said
especially after this last weekend.
you said yesterday that one of the hardest things to do was trying to come up with a lineup.
Exactly. Like this, I'm telling you, like this past tournament, that Sunday, just seeing y'all work together as a team and a family, that was the hardest to make a lineup. I'm like, it was so hard. It was legit hard to put 9 or 10 in that lineup.
Mhm. What about dealing with parents?
Well, sometimes it's just one of those, when it comes to dealing with parents, it's more of the listen. And then once you listen, then speak, be like, okay, well, you see it that way, but I saw it this way type thing. Because, you got to think parents are on the outside looking in, so they're not in the dugout, they're not on the field, they're spectating. So, got to pretty much tell them that.
Mhm. So if you could pick one superpower right now, what would you choose and why?
I would choose, web slinging. I want to be able to, I get tired of walking, I get tired of running, just web
Like
sling everywhere.
like all Spider-Man superpowers or just web slinging?
If I could have all of them, best believe I would. But if
Mhm.
I just had to choose one of his, definitely web slinging.
My mom wants to know these three questions. What's your favorite candy?
My favorite candy is, let's see, we'll say tropical Skittles.
Tropical Skittles. What is that? I don't think I've ever had that.
It's the blue pack. It's the blue
Oh,
pack.
the blue pack. I just have the standard red bag.
It's the blue
Um,
one.
if you could name a baseball team, what would you call it and why? I think I already know this answer.
If we would be iced up glaciers,
Ice Up
man.
Glaciers.
We
Yeah.
iced up glaciers. We got 3 championships, man. So hey, we iced up.
Yeah. And so you're known for doing your back handsprings and backflips every time we win a game and a championship. So how did you learn that, and how fast did you learn it?
So I learned it on a trampoline. So I started teaching myself like, I don't know, I was like maybe 15 or 16, just doing it on a trampoline. And then I started to do like the tumble or the round or like whatever you call it, the cartwheel, if you want to call it that. And then from there, just one day, just started sprinting, and then like it led to the cartwheel. Cartwheel led to the backflip. I didn't land it clean those couple of times, but just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And here we are.
Mm-hmm. And last one, what is your favorite baseball movie of all time?
My favorite baseball movie of all time, believe it or not, is probably Mr. 3000.
Mr. 3000.
Bernie, yep, Bernie Mac played it. Yep, it's a
I've
awesome
never
movie.
seen it. I've never seen it. Should I watch it?
You should cry every time.
Can you relate to that movie at all?
I can. The reason I say I can relate is because it's one of those things where you know you're gonna go through, and everybody go. I mean, I would say everybody goes through this. Well, you're gonna go through that little time where you're gonna like be, let's say, um, selfish, and it teaches you there's something that when playing this game is something bigger than you. And that's exactly what it taught me. It taught me that, hey, okay, well, yeah, you want to be the man on the field, but guess what? You can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to, sacrifice, yourself, to make somebody else, look good.
Hmm.
Stuff like that.
Well, that's my coach, folks. Coach Brandon Bostick. Thank you for being on the show. Do you have anything else you want to add or ask?
Let's see. You need to tell your dad about your first baseman so you can so you can play there more.
He's listening. He's laughing right now. Hmm. Anything else?
I'm just grateful for the opportunity. I'm glad that you let me come on the show, man. I've been waiting for this.
I know. I know you have. Well, did you have fun at least?
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much. That was awesome. Coach Brandon Bostick can be found on Instagram at @bbostick02. And you can help my show by subscribing to Baseball Podcasts Are Fun on YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram, and my website, baseballpodcastsarefun.com. Please check back next week for an all-new guest. Until then, that was Coach Brandon Bostick. I'm Grayson Knight, and this was Baseball Podcasts Are Fun. Don't forget to swing for the fences. See ya!